Hey everybody, it's Hylian Alchemist, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Red. In the last episode, we defeated Marowak's Ghost, saved Mr. Fuji from the Pokemon Tower, and we got the Pokeflute. And in this episode, we are going to take on the Celadon City Gym. So, you don't want us to be in here just because I'm a guy. That is sexist. Seriously though, you're causing discrimination for this gym. This is a Pokemon gym, you know. And if the gym leader wouldn't allow us guys to come into this gym, then that's pretty much against the rules. And somebody would have to report that to the Pokemon League authorities to get her fired because of that. Well, not that the gym leader ever thinks that. She doesn't really think that at all, thankfully, but... Oh, I actually remember that one episode of the anime when Ash was practically banned from the gym because he was bad-mouthing Perfume. Even his fucking friends betrayed him. And yes, including his Pikachu, but we're a little off topic here, so... Anyway, first encounter with Weepinbell, it is evolved form of Bellsprout. Somewhere around the 20s, I'm not really sure. It does evolve again with an element stone, like the Leaf Stone. So yeah, pretty much this gym consists of all the female trainers here, like Lasses, Beauties, or Junior Trainers. Actually, this is the first time we're encountering a Beauty. Beauties, I would say... I kind of forgot what they would practically specialize in. I know they would give you a lot of Pokédollars, but... I think they specialize in Pokemon that they consider attractive. I think anyways. But I'm not so sure myself. So here in this gym, they specialize in grass types, of course. It's easier to get through this gym if you were to bring flying types, fire types. I would say bug types, but the majority of the grass types in this generation are also part poison type, which means that they could be resistant against bug types. But you could also bring psychic types as well, since they have an advantage over poison types as well. And what else? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's all the other weaknesses I can think of. The only Pokemon you shouldn't bring with you, like what the grass types are strong against are water types, which you may already know. Then there's rock types and ground types. Well, you know about that already because of how we defeated Rock with our well, at the time, Bulbasaur. If you say that we're the baby Tom, that is actually not true, and that would be Master Roshi peeking out through the window, knowing him. You know, for some reason, I can never unsee Bulbasaur playing a harmonica in the sprite. I know that black thing is supposed to be the mouth, but it seriously looks like Bulbasaur is playing a harmonica. And somebody actually photoshopped that and just made it look like that, or just made it look like that. So, to this day, I can never seem to unsee that. Ever. So anyways, as we're going through this gym here, there's actually quite a lot of stuff to talk about, considering that a couple days ago, Pokémon Direct just happened. New games are about to come out. So, what do you say we go ahead and talk about them? First off, we have Pokémon Tournament Deluxe, which is an updated version of the original Pokémon Tournament, just with the Gen 7 Pokemon. Oh yeah, and here's another trainer of interest right here. This is, we're about to fight a new trainer class, and this right here is a Quill Trainer. Well, later on they'll be called Ace Trainer, starting with Gen 4. Quill Trainers, they are highly skilled with the way they battle. Like, they're very skilled, and they know what they're doing. So they have much better AI than most of the other trainers. And there are also male versions as well that we'll get to later on. Now we're just about to encounter Gloom, which is the evolved form of Oddish. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, Pokémon Tournament Deluxe has the Gen 7 Pokemon. Honestly, I have nothing to say about it because I've never actually played Pokémon Tournament. I know what it's about though, but I haven't really played the original one yet, so... I know, you're just gonna pick up your torches and pitchforks because of that, but... I never could find the right time to try and pick up Pokémon Tournament, but one of these days I'll probably try to. But considering the Pokémon Tournament Deluxe is about to be out, I could try it out as well, but I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so yeah, there's a problem. Secondly, we have Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it looks like, well, you could probably say that they would have been sequels, but they say it's an alternate storyline, but we may never know yet. And a lot of people are apparently pissed off because either they, there was no Pokemon Stars, or we're still getting Ultra Sun and Moon on the 3DS instead of the Switch. That, and we are still not getting the Sinnoh remakes. Well, not yet. Oh yeah, and Ariala just grew to level 31. And I'm showing that up because Ariala is finally learning Metronome. That is a move that I really wanted her to learn. Yeah, I'm still going to call her female, even though there's no... Well, genders are still not implemented in, well, until Gen 2. But yes, Metronome. What that does is that, it actually randomly, like, first the Pokemon will waggle its finger, and then it'll randomly use any move. No matter what it is, it will use any move, and it's all in a random set. And it's actually one of my favorite moves of all time. I really love using that, so that's what I wanted Ariel to learn, and I wanted to wait until she learns that move so that way I can evolve it, because... Well, okay, well, I keep referring to her as it, but... I'm kind of a brain fart, but... That's because it's her evolved form doesn't learn Metronome naturally for some reason, so that's why I wanted to wait, so... Anyway, so here we have Erika. And she'll start with Victreebel, which is the final evolved form of Bellsprout, which is a Pokemon that, that Weepinbell needs to evolve by using the Leaf Stone. But of course, considering we have our flying type here, it should be easy. Next up is Tangela, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the only pure grass type in Generation 1. I kid you not, Tangela is only grass type. No poison type, no psychic type, even though it doesn't really look like it. Just pure grass type. Poor Tangela. But hey, at least that's what makes you stand out as being the only pure grass type in this gen. So I guess there's that. But once again, still easy. And last but not least is Vileplume. And that is the evolved form of Gloom by, once again, using the Leaf Stone. And yes, if you're playing Yellow version, it'll just follow with the anime, in which she'll instead use Weepinbell and Gloom. But she'll still keep her Tangela as well, because she actually used that in the anime. And she, well, this Vileplume is also using Mega Drain, which is a more powerful version of Absorb. So that's all there is I can say about this battle. It's very easy if you have the right types, like Jack here, considering that he's a flying type. And with that, we have defeated Erika. See how easy that was? And for that, we have received the Rainbow Badge, which will make Pokemon up to level 50 obey. And it allows Pokemon to use Strength out of battle, which, what it does is that, it is it's actually another one of those ancient moves I actually tolerate in battle. It is a pretty powerful, well, it is a normal type move, but it's still powerful, like around 80 power. You don't want to go for Pokemon that are unattractive. Sheesh, that's narcissistic of you. And we also got Mega Drain for our prize for defeating her. But what Strength will also do, if you, as long as you have the Rainbow Badge, what it also does out of battle is that it lets you move large boulders out of the way. That we'll get to later on. We haven't run into them yet, I don't think, but we'll get to that later on. And I decided to teach Fado Mega Drain just by getting rid of Leech Seed. Since it does do damage, and Leech Seed just saps away the HP only for every turn. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So yeah, back to Ultra Sun and Moon. First of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about how there are, I gotta say, there are a lot of people, there is so much backlash and a lot of controversy going on regarding Ultra Sun and Moon. Like about people just complaining about how they didn't get their Pokemon Stars, or the fact that it's on the 3DS instead of the Switch, or there's no Diamond Pro remakes. Okay, first of all, like, when it comes to Pokemon Stars, and yes, I'm evolving Ariala to Clefable, But anyway, when it comes to Pokemon Stars, like, that was actually some sort of rumor that was going on. And since it's just a rumor, that means it may not be necessarily true. And from what I know, Junichi Masuda, who is the director of Game Freak currently, if I'm right, well, actually, not Game Freak, but for most of the Pokemon games, well, there are different directors, like in, well, such as in Sun and Moon and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, but bottom line is, Junichi Masuda did say that, he isn't quite into the idea of predictable games, and that was why that's why we didn't get Z at all. Like, X and Y didn't even get a third version for some reason. So, no game for Zygarde, apparently. But that was just some rumor going on, that Game Freak claims that they were developing Pokemon Stars, but I was pretty sure that was some sort of, like, they were just trying to apparently fool the players into thinking that it's gonna happen when it actually wasn't. That they were just working on something else. So, there was no way to tell if it was actually gonna be real, because, again, they don't really go for predictable Pokemon games, so seriously, that's really not a reason to be upset about that. I didn't really expect Stars to be the real thing, to be honest. So it didn't really surprise me all that much that Stars isn't actually real. And secondly, they were also, and onto the fact with how upset they were about the game not being on the Switch. Guys, since when has Game Freak ever switched consoles mid-generation? Like, seriously. I mean, we had, like... See, the 3DS was out around, I would say it's 2010 in Japan, and then there was 2011 here in America. But, Pokemon Black and White was released in 2010 in Japan and 2011 in America. While Black and White 2, which is out a year after... Like, after a full year of the 3DS being around, it was actually still on the DS. And I'm not quite sure if I've seen any complaints about that, but I didn't care about that either way, as long as the game was good. And once I played Black and White 2, it actually became my favorite Pokemon game of all time. I friggin' love the game. Trust me, I really do. But yeah, bottom line is, they never switch consoles mid-generation. Not even with Black and White 2. And then, after that, then we got X and Y for the 3DS, so there was no way whatsoever that they were going to continue, they were just going to finish Gen 7 just by switching it to the Nintendo Switch. No pun intended. Okay, well, maybe. So they're just going to keep with the 3DS, even though that they really did push the limits of the 3DS in Sun and Moon, which is why it tends to kind of drop in frame rate, especially during battle. And yes, we did get the HM Fly from that girl. So I'm going to teach it to Jack and get rid of Mirror Move because it is actually entirely pointless and I've never really used it at all. So there was really no point to it, considering how Jack is faster. I'm going to go ahead and fly back to Peter City because there is something that I haven't picked up yet, but now that I have Fly and we also have the HM for Cut, then we can just go up there now. We can actually go into the back area of the Peter City Museum because there's something that we can pick up called the Old Amber. And later on we'll use the Old Amber for something, but we'll just wait until then. So anyway, so I guess that's pretty much all I can say about Ultra Sun and Moon still being on 3DS, so I'm not upset with that either, and I really don't know why you guys should be upset with that as well, because, you know, there was no way Game Freak would ever switch consoles mid-generation, so I really don't see what the big deal is, honestly. As long as the game is good, then that's all that matters to me. And I'm pretty sure it will be, because, trust me, I freaking love Sun and Moon. I mean, not my most favorite per se, but it is up there. I had a lot of fun with the game. So, I'm kind of looking forward to see what Ultra Sun and Moon has in store for us. Last but not least are the complaints about, apparently not being the Diamond and Pearl remakes. Guys, to be honest, like, for one thing, I am a fan of Gen 4, well, particularly Platinum, And yes, we're about to battle, well, go ahead and use a Pokeflute for, to pick up this Pokemon. I'm gonna have to stop myself at times here just to show off what's gonna go on in this video. So I really do apologize. I want to continue talking about about the Pokemon Direct, but I'm gonna have to keep stopping myself because of what we're about to do. So we're playing the Pokeflute, and now Snorlax woke up and attacked in a grumpy rage. So this right here is Snorlax. Snorlax, I gotta say, is a freaking tank. I think I've used one before, and it is, well, it's very, very slow because, well, it is huge. But it is very powerful, and quite defensive as well. It has a rather high defense. What's annoying about it is that it's gonna keep on spamming Rest, which, it does put your Pokemon to sleep, but it does restore HP for a rather numbered amount of time. But Snorlax will be using Rest a lot, so... And you're gonna need Great Balls for this one, because Snorlax has a rather difficult catch rate. So I think Great Balls are recommended for this one. And I actually tried to record this last time, and my stupid ass apparently forgot to buy Great Balls, and I had no other Pokeballs, apparently, so... I had to redo the recording again, therefore having to redo the battle against Erika. And then just remember to buy myself some Great Balls. So... Anyways, there are actually well, you probably remember the other Snorlax that was near Lavender Town. So yeah, there's actually two of them, so you can actually just catch one and not worry about the other one. So that's actually one thing that's pretty helpful about it, so... If you want to... register Snorlax into your Pokédex and just get its info. So I think this kind of distraction ends here right now. There's actually something more, but I'll just save that for the next episode, since it's actually more appropriate to do so. Anyways, back to the topic of the Gen 4 remake. So anyway, even as a fan of Gen 4, particularly Platinum, I think that Gen 4 remakes are just too soon. I mean, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out about 3 years ago, so another remake shouldn't just happen right away. I mean, that's just what I think. And not to mention, since Gen 7 is still going to be on the 3DS, there is actually no way whatsoever that the Diamond and Pearl remakes would still be on the 3DS, especially since that's the console that Omega Ruby well, Oros, actually. I'll just refer to it as Oros because that's the usual... That's how they usually refer to abbreviate it, so... Anyway, that's the console that Oros was on. So there's actually no way that there would be, like, 2 remakes on the same console. And besides, because of the very slow... Well, because of how bad the frame rate could be in battle, and, in Sun and Moon, like, it does tend to suffer from slowdowns, and since they've seriously push the limits of the 3DS. For a region as big as Sinnoh, I really can't imagine what it would have been like on a console using the same engine as Sun and Moon. I honestly can't. I mean, it just would have made it really worse. I mean, for one thing, like, the one thing I didn't really like about Gen 4 is that how slow it tends to be. Like, you know, because of the, because the frame rate is a little bit lower than in, Gen 3. So, it does tend to be slow at times, but regardless, even on the 3DS, it just would have made things a lot worse, considering how big Sinnoh is. So, if anything, like, it's actually best to save the Diamond and Pearl remakes for Gen 8. Well, which I think might happen. Well, I'm just throwing speculations there, but it could be possible. But yeah, we did catch Snorlax right there, so I just want to throw that out there. Not that I'm going to use one on my team. But yeah, if anything, it would be best to save those remakes for Gen 8. Which, I know for one thing, I'm pretty sure that Gen 8 will definitely be on the Switch, because right after Gen 7's done over with, and since since the 3DS is near dead, then I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any more production or anything more for the sole handheld consoles. Considering the fact that that the Switch is considered both a home console and handheld. But I'm very much sure that the 8th generation of Pokemon will be on the Switch. Like, first they'll just announce the new set of games, like, you know, the new Pokemon games and the new Pokemon themselves, new region, and all that other stuff. Then after that, then they'll just release a Diamond and Pearl remakes. At least that's what I would think. That was actually the whole reason why there wasn't any remakes in Gen 5. Like, you know, people thought there was going to be Ruby and Sapphire remakes in Gen 5, but there actually wasn't any. Like, you know, because from what I also heard, apparently Gen 5 was like released around the same time during the development of X and Y, and so shortly after the release of Black and White 2 in America, and like around January 2013, that's when they announced X and Y for the 3DS. But then again, though, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is also on the DS, and same thing with Gen 5, so there actually wasn't any way for the Ruby and Sapphire remakes to be on Gen 5, so they actually saved that for Gen 6 on the 3DS. So this really isn't the first time that Game Freak's been doing this. I mean, if it hasn't happened the first time, it's not going to happen the second time, so seriously, people, I don't know what your problem is, but you really should just get over all this. I mean, there's really no reason to be upset over. It's not really the first time Game Freak has done this. I mean, honestly. Well, what is the problem there? I just don't get it. Fandom nowadays are just hard to please. But, oh well, what are you gonna do about that? But I am actually looking forward to, like, I would like the Sinnoh remakes as well. I'm all for that as well. But I, for one, wouldn't want them to be on the 3DS. I'd rather have them on the Switch. I mean, that's just what I believe, for one thing. I actually would love to see Sinnoh in HD. That'd actually be really cool to see, so. Anyways, as for my kind of opinion towards Ultra Sun and Moon, I am actually looking forward to it. Like, I'm pretty, I'm looking forward to seeing what it has in store for us. The one thing I'm a little disappointed about is that, they actually claim that it's gonna be an alternate story. Well, that's what they claim, though, but I'm not entirely sure whether that's true or not. Because something tells me that they're not quite going to be true sequels, but again, I'm not sure. And part of me actually kind of wanted sequels, because I want to see what happens and whatnot. I'm not going to spoil much what happens in Sun and Moon 1 to those of you who haven't played the game yet. But I actually would. I wouldn't mind sequels, but you know, they say that's actually an alternate story, like, you know, another retelling, just with paired versions, and it can be a little bit disappointing, but you never know. We'll just find out more when they bring out more details. Last but not least, this is the one part of the Direct that I was the most excited about. Yes, at long last, they are finally going to release Pokemon Gold and Silver on the Nintendo eShop. Ah, yes. Once I heard that, well, I wouldn't say I probably scream. Well, of course, I've sort of expected that, but I really wanted Gold and Silver to be on the Virtual Console real badly, since, ever since Red, Blue, and Yellow were on the eShop as well. But, oh man, I was super, super excited to hear that, because I did grow up with Gold and Silver. I do have my nostalgia for it. It was a part of my childhood, along with other Pokemon games, but growing up as a kid, Pokemon Gold and Silver were my favorite Pokemon games during that time, though, which was before Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which, of course, a game that I actually loved a whole lot better. It is much better, and I would just pick it up any time to this day. And, of course, that was actually before Gen 5, well, particularly Black and White 2, which took the cake as being my most favorite Pokemon game, but But Gold and Silver, and also mostly Heart Gold and Soul Silver, still hold a special place in my heart. But you know, I was so excited for Gold and Silver on the eShop. And, you know, I'm just ready to relive classic Johto. I really was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still did have my nostalgia going on when I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and to this day, I still do love those games. And considering that they are a whole lot better, and so I really love those games a lot more. But that still doesn't stop me from picking up the original Gold and Silver any day. So I'm just about ready to relive my nostalgia once again on the 3DS. And the best part about it is now we don't have to worry about our save data being erased because I know that Gold and Silver are very notorious for their save batteries being erased easily, mainly because of the in-game clock function. Well, only on the cartridges, and it's pretty much happened to all the other well, you can still replace the battery, but then you have to start over all the way from the beginning. So, but thankfully, though, that is no longer a thing if we were to play it on the eShop. So we can just play it anytime, anywhere, and just not having to worry about anything. So that actually makes me happy. Anyways, that's all I can say about the about my thoughts on the Pokemon Direct that just happened, and I've gone on with this video long enough now. So. Anyways, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Red, we are going to go down Cycling Road, which will take us all the way to Fuchsia City, which is where the next gym is. So, till next time, see you guys later.